Good day everyone. Welcome to Field Study Number 2, Participations in Teaching Assistantship. In this video, I will be discussing Learning Episode 18 entitled Grading and Reporting. I am Lilibeth Sapnay, the discussant for today. Target your intended learning outcomes. At the end of this learning episode, we must be able to interpret scores correctly, compute grades based on DepEd's grading policy, and report grades to parents meaningfully. It is said that students should not study only for score nor grades. Students should study most of all for learning. It is possible for students to obtain high scores and good grades but did not really learn that much. What is ideal is for students to get high scores and good grades because they really learned a lot. Our world of employment, scholarship grants, etc. still look at grades as criteria for hiring and screening for scholarships. So grades have pragmatic value. Therefore, it is best that students work for grades that genuinely reflect level of mastery. Revisiting the infographics. In these infographics, let us know and understand first what is norm reference and criterion reference assessments by watching a video.
Hi, I am your pre-service teacher, Geraldine Aspatian, and today we will be discussing about norm reference grading and criterion reference grading, and we will be differentiating the two grading methods. So let's get started by defining what is norm reference grading versus criterion reference grading. Now let's go to their definitions. Norm reference grading system refers to the grading system wherein students' performance is evaluated relatively to the performance of other students. Using norm reference grading system, a student's performance is evaluated relative to the performance of the other students within the group. This is also known as the grading curve. The teacher will be the one to set how many percent of the student in the class assign each grade if it is not stated on the grading policy. Criterion reference tests or grading compare a student's knowledge and skills against a predetermined standard, cut score, or other criterion. In criterion reference tests, the performance of other students does not affect the score of the student. It specifies the standards through description of clear criteria, and anybody who achieves the level or standard described gains the marks. So everybody in the cohort could potentially get an A. Now, let's move forward and discuss some examples. Here are some examples of norm reference grading. First is the percentile rank. The formula for percentile rank is L/Mn over 100, where L is the percentile, M is the score, and N is the number of observation. The second one is the standard 9 or STANIN, and the third is the mean. Here is then another example. 10 students in different class with different scores, Section A and Section B. Midterm scores 100 items, same test paper. Here shows the dataset for Class A and Class B. Student in A class has the row score of 75. This refers to an 80% percentile rank. Student in Class B has a row score of 90, which also has the percentile rank of 80%. So, as you can see, the percentile rank of the student differs regarding to which class he or she belongs in. Here is an example of Criterion reference grading. In a class of 100 students, no one might get a grade of excellent if no one scores 98 above or 85 above, depending on the criterion used. Say for instance, 1.0 or excellent is equal to 98 to 100 or 85 to 100. 1.5 means good is equal to 88 to 97 or 80 to 84. 2 fair is equal to 75 to 87 or 70 to 79. While 3 or poor or pass is equal to 65 to 74 or 60 to 69. Lastly, 5 or failure would represent scores below 65 or below 60. So for easier differentiation, we have here a Venn diagram. So our definition for norm reference is when one student's performance are compared to what might normally be expected of other students. While in criterion reference is when a student's performance is compared against a per-established criterion or benchmark. Our examples for norm reference are percentile ranks, grade equivalents, stanines, normal curve equivalents, scale scores. And our examples for criterion reference are written portions of the state driver's exam, advanced placement exams. Norm reference tests are useful for determining overall developmental level of the students with respect to others. While criterion reference are useful for mastery level learning or competency-based assessment. These two types of grading or tests or assessments are the major ways of bringing meaning to test scores. This compares one student's data to another result. They are also useful in interpreting assessments. That would be all for norm reference and criterion reference grading. I hope that you have learned something and have a good day.
Let's come now to the DepEd grading system. Review the policy guidelines on classroom assessments for the K-12 Basic Education Program and DepEd Order 8, Series 2015, and the interim guidelines for assessment and grading in light of the Basic Education Learning Continuity Plan in DepEd Order 31, Series 2020. The grading system of the DepEd is contained in the said DepEd orders. Let us watch another video for us to know how to compute grades using the DepEd Order 31, Series 2020.
Hello, this is Teacher Robbie and welcome to the channel. For today's tutorial ay tuturuan ko kayo kung paano mag-compute ng grades in the new normal gamit ang DepEd Order number 31 series of 2020. Sa kalalabas lang na DepEd Order ngayong October 2, 2020, ang DepEd Order number 31 series 2020 entitled Interim Guidelines for Assessment and Grading in Light of the Basic Education Learning Continuity Plan. So wala nang paligoy-ligoy pa, tuturuan ko na kayo kung paano mag-compute ng grades. Sa DepEd Order number 8 series 2015, quarterly examinations are given weight of 20%. However, since it is no longer part of the grading system for this school year, it previously determined weight was distributed equally into written works and performance tasks. Sa madaling salita, instead na 3 ang component, magiging 2 na lang ang component ngayong new normal because we are using the distance learning modality. Ang assessment component na lang ay written works and performance tasks. Kung mapapansin natin, ang language, araling panlipunan, at ESP ay may 40% written works and 60% performance tasks. Samantalang ang Math and Science ay parehong 50% ang written works and performance tasks. At ang MAPE, EPP at ELE ay may 30 and 70% respectively. Dahil wala na ang quarterly exam, nahati na lang sa dalawa ang ating pagkukompute ng grades. Ito ang written works at ang performance task. Ang example natin ngayon ay tungkol sa Math and Science ng grade 1 and 10. So napakasimple lang kung paano natin sila i-compute. Kung titingnan natin ang ating table, meron itong highest possible score at ang mga learners. Halimbawa, learner A. Si learner A o si Juan de la Cruz example ay nakakuha sa written works ng 18, 22, 20, and 17. Paano natin kukumputin ang kanyang score sa written works? Step 1. I-add mo ang mga scores. 18 plus 22 plus 20 plus 17 is 77. Ilalagay mo ito sa total. And then, step 2, babalik tayo sa DepEd order number 8. Ang pagkuha ng percentage score, the formula is learner's total raw score divided by highest possible score multiplied by 100%. Paano natin gagawin yon? Kukunin natin ang 77 and 85. 77 divided by 85 times 100%. Pag dinivide natin ang 77 and 85, lalabas ay 0.9058. I-multiply natin siya sa 100%. This is 90.58 at kailangan natin siyang i-round off. Ang round off na answer is 91. Ilalagay ngayon natin ito sa PS o sa percentage score. Para naman makuha natin yung WA, that is step 3, imumultiply lang natin ang weighted score, percentage times weight of the component. Since Math and Science ang example natin, ang written works ay 50%. So yung 91 saka 50%, imultiply lang natin at ang makukuha natin ay 45.5. Ilalagay natin ito sa tapat ng kanyang pangalan. Yan ang pagkuha ng written works. Pumunta naman tayo sa performance task. Simple lang din. Gagayahin lang din natin ang step 1, step 2, at step 3. Subukan natin. Halimbawa, si Juan de la Cruz ay may score na 12, 13, 19, and 15. Hahanapin natin ang total, percentage score, at ang WA. Step 1, i-add ang kanyang scores. Ang sum ay 56. Ilagay natin ito sa table. Punta tayo sa step 2. Using the formula, percentage score, learner's total raw score divided by highest possible score. That is 56 divided by 77 multiplied by 100%. Pag dinivide natin to, the answer is 0.74666. Kaya ni-round off ko na to, kaya 7467. Mumultiply natin by 100, the answer is 74.67. Pag ni-round off natin to sa whole number, ang answer ay 75. Ilalagay natin to sa percentage score, which is, ayun na sa table natin. Pupunta na ngayon tayo sa step 3. Ang step 3, kukunin natin ang weighted score multiplied the PS and the WA. So, 75 times 50%. Saan galing yung 50%? Since Math and Science, ang example natin, ang performance task is 50%. So, the answer is 37.5. Ilalagay natin to sa WA. So, tapos na ang pagkuha natin ng performance task at tapos na rin ang pagkuha natin ng written works. Ang gagawin natin ay pagsasamahin na natin tong dalawa. Okay. Ayan yung una natin ginawa. At ito yung pangalawa. Ngayon, kukunin na natin ang initial grade and quarterly grade. Paano natin gagawin ito? Titingnan lang natin ang table under the WA ng written works and WA ng performance task. Pagsamahin natin yon. Add the scores in the WA, the answer is 83. Ilalagay natin ito doon sa initial grade niya. Subalit, hindi pa rin ito yung score o grade para sa kanyang quarterly grade. Pag nakuha na natin ang initial grade, babalik tayo sa DepEd Order number 8, series of 2015. At kukunin natin doon yung transmutation table. Based from, of course, the DepEd 8, series of 2015. Since ang initial grade na nakuha natin ay 83, hahanapin natin ito at kukunin natin yung katapat niyang grade. Ito ay nasa pagitan ng 82.4 and 83.99. Ang score niya ay 83, so ang kanyang quarterly grade ni Juan de la Cruz ay 89. So ganun lang paano mag-compute sa new normal based from the DepEd Order number 31 series of 2020. So ayan, napakadali lang kung paano mag-compute ng grades ngayong new normal base sa DepEd Order. Once again, this is Teacher Robbie.
Reporting students' progress and grades to parents. Student progress and grades are reported to parents through report card, parents-teachers conference, and written conferences. The report card, it is a standard method of reporting students' progress and grades to parents. This is a sample of report card for elementary and junior high school from the Department of Education. For a more meaningful reporting of student progress, the meaning of grades is given. The Department of Education gives the following grade interpretation. Report cards convey letter grades like A, B, C, D, and F, sometimes with plus or minus, so a student may get an A plus or A minus, B plus or B minus, etc. Some report cards convey numerical grades such as 85 in math, 93 in English, and 88 in biology. Still other report cards simply have pass or fail. The Department of Education student report cards include affective characteristics such as makajos, makatao, makabansa, and makakalikasan. Next is the written progress reports. This can be weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly reports of the student progress and achievements according to Macmillan 2007. This is a sample written progress report for kindergarten. These written reports may include the student's performance on tests and quizzes, projects, oral reports. They also can include information about the student's motivation, cooperations, and behavior, as well as suggestions for how parents can help the students improve his or her performance. Next is the parent-teacher conferences. Durham 2006 asserts that parent-teachers conferences are both a responsibility and an opportunity. The education of the learner is the primary responsibility of parents. In this task of educating children, parents are assisted by the school. For the benefits of children, then it is best for teacher and parents to come together to discuss their children's progress. Parent-teachers conferences are a perfect avenue for this purpose. It has been a practice of school to set aside a day for report card distributions, which is at the same time the opportunity for parents and teachers to confer regarding their child's performance. Here are some reminders for school or teachers to get most from parents-teachers conferences. First, announce the date for card giving in advance. Or better, still the school calendar, which should be given at the beginning of the school year, must already include the dates for card giving and parents-teachers conferences. Parents are busy and can't just be there at the schools beck and call. Second, be positive in approach. Start the conference with something positive and maintain the positive atmosphere. There is always something good in every student. Even if a student has performed poorly, try to find at least some areas in which the student has performed well. Third, be objective. While you should be positive, be truthful and honest. Give an accurate picture of a student's performance in order not to give false hopes to parents. Fourth, have a listening ear. Act with empathy. Parents are parents. They will tend to favor their children. Next is, don't project an omniscient image. You don't know all the answers to question. Refer the parents to the right person. Example, the physics teacher if the problems is the child's performance in physics. Next, practice good communication skills. Communicate criteria for grading. Have a dialogue, not a monologue, where the only one talking is you or only the parent. Don't talk about other students. The focus of the parent-teachers conference should only be the parent's child. Never compare the child with other students. And the last one, end with an encouraging note in the same way that you began with a positive note. It is not the end of the world. Let's come now to reporting. School schedule, card getting day, and parents teachers conference or PTC, which are an opportunity for parents and teachers to discuss about student performance and grades to make sense of scores and grades. Unfortunately, based on observation, not all parents can attend PTC, and most often, it is the parents of students with problematic performance that can come for PTC.
Are you a teacher right now? Is it October/November? Then you know exactly what time it is. It is parent-teacher conference time. Here are the do's and don'ts of parent-teacher conferences online. Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Morgan and I am a 6th grade math and science teacher, and I do love all things Disney. So as you saw from my intro, we are going to be going over the do's and don'ts for online parent-teacher conferences in this world of online teaching. So without further ado, let's get into it. Be early. The earlier, the better. Especially with being online, you want to make sure that your Meet, your Zoom, whatever it is that you're meeting on is set up and ready to go before parents start entering. The worst thing to do would be to get a message from a parent saying that they can't get in because you haven't even started the meeting yet. Make sure that it is up and running and ready for you to get to use it. And make sure you have a plan for if a parent shows up early or not at their specific time or comes late because they were held up in another conference. This happens very frequently and very often. And if you pick up the parent at the wrong time, sometimes it can lead to arguments and hurt feelings. But make sure you're making it clear to your parents that you are expecting them to come at the time of their conference to avoid that overlap with other parents. Don't look like you just got out of bed. Hi. Yeah. How are you today? It's so nice to meet you. Dress to impress. You always want to look your best, even though we are online. First impressions are everything. Yeah, Jimmy is currently failing. He has about a 0% because he hasn't turned anything in. He doesn't participate in class either when he does come to class because he never does. And he's just not doing great. So what can we do to fix this? You always want to be ready for when a parent has questions. So you want to be as prepared as possible. Have the assignments that they are missing, have what their current grade is, and you always want to make sure that you note next to the parent's name that has signed up what their student's name is as well. Hi, Mrs. Martinez. So I know you're here to talk about Caitlin. Oh, you're not here to talk about Caitlin? Oh, your son's name is Josh. Okay. Yeah, we're gonna talk about Josh, of course. I was just kidding. I knew that your son was Josh. Miss Smith, it has been a pleasure meeting you, and I know we have much more to discuss, but unfortunately I do have another parent waiting, so I am going to have to stop us here. But if you would like to continue this conversation, I would be more than willing to set up another time on a separate day to meet with you and go over these concerns. But at least we got a baseline of where we need to go. Hey, stop that. What are you doing? Stop that. I'm sorry. So sorry about that. Yeah, I'm listening. What? Will you quit it? I'm sorry, yes. Go on. I really just want us to work together to get Jimmy back on board with the work. I know middle school is tough, and I know that transition is really hard for kids. But I think that if we put these systems in place and I work with him during school hours and you work with him at home, as a team, we will be able to get him back on track. Yeah, just 1 second. Just 1 second. I gotta eat something. My stomach's growling. You can keep talking. Yeah. Make sure you do not rush or ramble. Rushing or rambling during a parent-teacher conference can lead the parent to confusion and even more problems than you originally started with. You want to make sure that you have written down exactly what you want to get across, meaning the child's grades, the assignments they are missing, if any, and how they can make things up, and what your game plan is to get them back on track. Those are the most important things to a parent, and they really just want to be reassured. Especially on parent-teacher conference nights, time is short and very limited. You won't have a lot of time to go into the nitty-gritty of why they may not be completing assignments or turning things in, but you can get across to the parent and start that dialogue, and that's what the most important thing about these parent-teacher conferences are. So I hope you guys liked this video. I had a lot of fun making it, and I hope you guys have an awesome time at your parent-teacher conferences, and maybe you take 1 or 2 of these tools away. Drop in the comments below some of your favorite parent-teacher night tips and tricks. And I'll see you all on the next video. Have a magical day. Bye.